Right in here. You could lose your hours. I'm not going to say anything in the first week or so, but it's really important to sign in and out because just go to sign your sheet and I'll go over all this stuff on Monday or the first day of the week. How are you going to do it? Yeah, that's
definitely.
I think this works okay.
Tight across the top, at the bottom. Yeah. In other words, yeah. Tight at the top, and then we're going to drag some stuff to the bottom.
Hello there. How are you doing? There you go. Enjoy.
Oh, let me get out of your way here.
So we're going to stay. She's got a fever.
fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the dance floor a very incredible couple. Let's show your love to Timmy and Raw2.
I see your lips, the summer kisses, your sunburned hair. I used to hold, said you.
Let's give it up once more for this incredible couple. I invite all the children. We invite you onto the dance floor. We invite everyone to please make yourself comfortable at your tables.
Come on, like the Tonight Show. Ralph Taff.
Here we go.
I didn't know you were going to go. He asked me just
How about, just for the hell of it, let's give him one more round of applause. Come on, huh? A little loud, right there. Okay.
Good evening, family and friends. Good evening, family and friends. Can you hear me now? Good, good, thank you. What a wonderful way to start the next 50. Kenny and I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining us tonight to help us celebrate our golden wedding anniversary. And in order to get things started, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce to you our children and their families, starting with our firstborn, Joe Cash, from Leawood, Kansas, and our grandchildren, Deborah and Matthew. And we're sorry to have to tell you that our daughter, of course, who is married to Joe, we consider Lorraine our daughter, developed a fever and the flu, and it can't be with us tonight. But of course, she's in our thoughts. Following Joe from Wilmette, Illinois, our daughter is Sharon Cash, and our grandchildren, Abby, Aliza, Golan, and Lucky. From Brentwood, California. No, wait, I'm going out of sequence. From Sherman Oaks, California. Our middle son, Max. And his lovely wife, Sharon. And our grandchildren, Lily and Eli. From Lincolnwood, Illinois, daughter Elisa with the beautiful dimples and the beautiful smile and the wonderful personality. And finally, the baby. My son Carl.
Wait, let me fix your hair.
And his beautiful wife Jennifer from Brentwood, California. I'll just take another minute because I've been asked this question by a couple of people tonight. You might as well everybody get the answer. I've been asked how I happened to meet Tammy and how we happened to get together. So I'll take just a couple of minutes to let you know how that happened. After having come back from the war, spent a lot of time developing my business, doing a lot of traveling out of Chicago, trying to do as much dating to catch up on the dating as I could. And was being given all kinds of help on all kinds of blind dates, to the point where I didn't want any more blind dates. But I had a brother-in-law by the name of Al Rabin, who was married to my sister Leonore, who came to me one day and he said, "Ralph, you've got to call this beautiful little Jewish girl that I just met. She is such a treasure, you've got to call her." I said, "Al, leave me alone. I don't want any more blind dates." And he finally convinced me to make the phone call, and I did. I called and spoke to Thelma Schmidt. And in order so that our first date wouldn't be a total loss, I asked her if she'd like to go to baseball games, and I invited her to attend a Cub game at Wrigley Field. She accepted. that was the first date that Tammy and I, well, it was Thelma at that time, went out on. During the course of the game, I happened to glance down at her hands, and I noticed that she had some pretty good-sized calluses on her hands. So I asked her, how do you get calluses? She says, well, I work for my dad. I run his office. He has a sheet metal shop. And when things get hectic in the warehouse, I have to go and drink out sheet metal. And sure enough, she had those calluses, and when she told me that and I saw those calluses, that convinced me more than anything else, I gotta keep on dating this girl. The other thing that happened on that first date was that when we spoke about each other, she said, you know, my name is Thelma, and I really don't care for the name Thelma. So I said, well, what is your Jewish name? And she says, well, it's Tamarithka. I said, really? Well, do you mind if I call you Tammy? And that's how Tammy, and that's how Thelma Cash became Tammy. Tammy became Tammy. But what sold me more than anything else, that I had to do something with this young lady, was a couple of weeks later, our company had a picnic in June. And during the picnic, as you want to do, we put together a baseball game. And we filled every position except first base. And so I asked for a volunteer to raise his or her hand to play first base. And wouldn't you know, she's the one that raised her hand. And folks, I gotta tell you something. When I saw Tammy handle that first base, and the way she handled herself at the plate, I said to myself, that's got to be the mother of my children. We are now going to have the blessing of the bread and the wine. And Julio or somebody, would you bring up the cards with the bread and the wine, please? And I want to invite our youngest grandson, Eli, to do the blessing of the bread. So Eli, would you please join us up here? I have your yarmulke, by the way. Yes, well, Eli is going to lead us, of course, but Tammy reminded me we want all our grandchildren up here, so would you please join us, the grandchildren from our table. Okay, Eli, whenever you're ready, you can do the blessing.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
That's Max Cash, our middle son, who was in television production.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha... Oh no.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lehem min haaretz.
Everybody. Avi, will you lead us in the blessing of the wine, please?
Avi! You're not supposed to drink it.
That's 21, he can't pour it.
I can in this state. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri haga. Amen.
Okay, now let's all enjoy ourselves and have a wonderful time.
Great.
Thank you. Now enjoy your...
to get my notes out.
Give him a round of applause for his notes. This guy is excellent.
Well, Mom and Dad, 50 years has been just incredible. We've been thinking about the enormity of it, and a lot of things have to go right just to get to this incredible milestone. I know I speak for everybody here when I say that we are all so happy to see both of you here in such great health and glowing happiness. I've tried to reflect on the many constants of my childhood. The Sundays watching Packer games, Mom running me to Dr. Dukowski for my constant asthma attacks, Mom and I golfing during the summers, and of course, the entire family sitting in the den, or the family room, watching sitcoms. How Mom and Dad loved a good laugh. Dad laughed the loudest of the two of them. It wasn't hard to know when we were watching one of Dad's favorite shows. Dad would have a red face, have a great belly laugh, and then followed by the, of course, famous We'll probably get a couple of those tonight. The honeymooners with the cufflinks, with the handcuffs always got that. Speaking of sitcoms, we grew up watching so many great couples. June and Ward Cleaver, Rob and Laura Petrie, Lucy and Desi Arnaz, Fred and Wilma Flintstone, and of course, Ralph and Alice Cramden. But none of these couples had scripts or writers like you had. We look forward to watching many more episodes of The Ralph and Temmie Show. In your show, you have taught us all about love and respect and the importance of bringing honesty to every aspect of our lives. For those lessons, your example, we are all so very grateful. So now we raise our glass to you, Mom and Dad. Jennifer and I love you very much, very, very much. And we wish you many, many more years of happiness and great health. L'chaim.
That's right. Go ahead, put your drink down and give them a loving round of applause. Beautifully expressed. And now, while you're finishing your first course, we have something very special for you.
Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, lived a golden-haired maiden named Thelma Reba, daughter of Max and Rose. Across town, an equally handsome and eligible prince, Ralph, noble son of Abraham and Bertha, waited for his one true love.
One fine afternoon, an evil witch appeared. She cackled, "I have cast a wicked spell on this kingdom." Suddenly the sky became dark and ominous. She said, "Only true love can break the spell." In an instant, she was gone.
A moment later, the fairy godmother appeared and proclaimed, "You have nothing to fear. You need only to open your hearts. Love will break the spell." Confusion spread throughout the land. Everyone wondered, who could possibly break the evil witch's spell?
One afternoon, after attending a ball game at the Heath known as Wrigley, the future king and queen sought protection from a sudden downpour and found themselves in a vestibule of an Addison Street fortress.
Soon the clouds parted and sunlight warmed the earth. The spell was broken, and a royal wedding was held on the 8th day of January, 1950.
11 months later, Dr. Sabbath, the royal physician, delivered to the king and queen a young prince named Joseph, then a princess named Sharon, then another prince named Max, then another princess named Elisa, then another prince named Carl. All resided in the castle on Saguenash, where this Ralphie boy became king of the castle.
When the queen went shopping, the royal children accompanied her as she sampled the wares of shopkeepers at Old Orchard or the fresh fruits at the Jewel.
Friday nights were special at the castle. The queen lit candles while the king held up his silver goblet and blessed the wine.
After Sunday dinners, the king and queen were often entertained with a talent show performed by the princes and princesses, all taking turns in the role of court jester. The king and queen would then retire to their matching contour thrones to delight in the pleasures of Ed Sullivan or a honeymooner's rerun.
On most days, the king went off to the warehouse on Halstead, while the queen busied herself in the kitchen making apple pies, rugula, and her famous egg noodles.
But it wasn't just the queen's prowess in the kitchen that made her famous. Some of her proclamations became legendary. Out of the living room! Take out thy garbage! Carl, I hear you! And wait till your father gets home, were heard far and wide. And on occasion, the king would request an audience with a prince or princess on the white chairs in the living room. This was not good.
The king's business took him north to the land of the Packers. On visits to this faraway land, the royal family was known to frequent another famous castle, Mars Cheese Castle.
In the summers, the queen would march the royal children to the Great Lake of Michigan for outings at the shore.
As the years passed, they traveled as a family to faraway lands, Florida, Williamsburg, Europe, and Israel. They were always glad to return to the castle on Saguenash. Soon the king found pleasure in his yearly grand fireworks display on the 4th of July.
Yeah! It was in the royal synagogue that the king and queen would be found holding court in Raw2. They were known far and wide as being generous, sharing their good fortunes with those in need.
When the princes and princesses were grown, the king and queen traveled on their own. Our tale would have ended on one of these trips had the king not adhered to an admonition to keep the river on the right.
Soon the king and queen journeyed west to the desert, where their lives continued to be filled with good times, good friends, and family.
To celebrate their reign of 50 years, a spectacular ball was to be held in the kingdom. Everyone in the land was invited to share in the merriment. The preparations for such a fine event had been taking place for months. every detail had been attended to.
As in every fairy tale, the story must come to an end. So imagine a ball where their loved ones were present. All were together to celebrate their joyous occasion. The king and queen celebrating with merry mirth, plentiful drink, a bountiful feast, and dancing until dawn. And they lived happily ever after.
While you conclude your dinner, I've got something quite unique and quite special.
The rabbis have joined us this evening in something very, very special for Timmy and Ralph.
Bill, can you do it? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. just like a waltz. You saw keep playing right there. Dave Sanford on the drums, really best drummer in all of Canada. Vladimir comes to us from the Soviet Union, and when it was time, he wound up in Mexico, and then he wound up in the foster family. So if you don't mind, let's give him a little round of applause. Vladimir Goldstein. Jacqueline and Miguel. All right. I've got a special song while you enjoy your dinner. Nobody say anything.
Come on, baby, why don't we paint the time? And all that jazz, I'm gonna lose your knees and go by stockings down. And all that jazz, start to come on, no more be spat where the gin is cold, but the piano's hit. It's just a noisy hall, and there's a nightly brawl, and all of that jazz. Slick your hair and wear your buckle shoes, and all that jazz I hear it all mean is gonna play blues. And all that jazz, come on home, we're gonna burn her eyes, and that's when I'm gonna drink, and we should shake apart and on a brand new start to do that jazz. Grab a flask, we're going fast and loose, and all that jazz right up here is where I store the juice. And all that jazz, come on home, we're gonna touch the sky that you're lucky to never flew so high. Last year, how could you end up here to all that jazz? And all that jazz, oh, she's gonna shoot till the daughters break. And all that jazz, if she hear her baby's cry for all that jazz.
Mercy and Company. Pretty cool, huh? That was mercy.
Y así pasan los días y yo desesperado y tú te contando quizás y así pasan los días y yo desesperado y tú me contando quizás
Otra, Mateo.
quizás
Otra.
quizás
Mateo, my friend.
Thank you,
Did you enjoy it? Why don't you give Jackson.
want you, we want you, we want you as a Doobie Crew. We want you, we want you, we want you as a Doobie Crew. There's no need to get down. I say, yeah, man. Pick yourself off the ground. I say, yeah, man. 'Cause you're in a town. There's no need to be all that thing, yeah, man. There's a place you can go. I say, yeah, man. Pick yourself off the ground. And stay there. Haven't seen nobody anywhere. Good time. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's got to stand up. Listen to me, I said, yeah, man. What do you wanna be? I said, yeah, man. You can make me answer, but you got to know there's one thing you know that does it all by himself. I said, yeah, man. Put your pride on yourself and just go in to the YMCA of today. Today. Come on, come on, come on. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Absolutely incredible. Daphne's terrific. That's pretty cool, don't you think?
All right.
And shyest child. Okay, oldest girl. And I didn't really know what to say to my parents because as the oldest child, the oldest girl, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but my parents have always been there supporting me.
not you, Sharon.
Yes, I was the perfect child. Never made a mistake. One of the things that I've learned from my mother is the love of dance. I love dancing, and all those years of dancing has helped me a little bit to enjoy life a lot more. From my father, I've learned the love of business, the love of being honest with people, and always putting my best foot forward, as my mother has shown me. And with my 4 children, being a single parent has always been difficult, but my parents have always been there to help me through the difficult times. One thing my mother has always said to me all my life was, you should meet a man who's just like your father. I kept searching and searching for someone who treated me just like my father treats my mother. And it took me 47 years, but standing near me is a man that finally I have found that is very much like my father. And I hope through the love that that my parents show my grandchildren, that my children will be able to experience the happiness that love can bring into a relationship for 50 years, and that my children will learn that it's never too late to find love if you follow your heart and you have the support of a family. Mom and Dad, I love you very much, and speaking for all my family here, we love you very much. Thank you. In honor of my parents, my children, and Dr. Michelin Irwin have bought an anniversary ketubah. It's a handmade ketubah. It's a 50th anniversary ketubah for my parents, both in Hebrew and in English. I made sure that it was the right colors for the house. It took me a long time to find this. But we love you very, very much, and we all thank you for your support over the years. Thank you very much, and we love you.
Thank you, Sharon. Now we'd like to call up Elisa. Let's hear it for Elisa. Come on, dance right up here, Elisa. Let's hear it for her.
I noticed the light wasn't centered. I'm only going to go just a year back. A year ago today, I was preparing to have a major operation. The doctors even said, you know, we don't want to do this operation because you'll die, but if we don't do the operation, you're going to die. A few days before that, I found out my insurance company wasn't going to pay for this life-threatening. And I called my dad and mom, and my dad said, make the appointment. Of course, he said, make the appointment. You know, don't worry about it. And that Monday, the 11th of January, I had the major surgery, and it was supposed to be in intensive care maybe overnight. My parents came down. I was in San Diego. They came down to spend, you know, the night and go back the next morning when they found out I was okay. I spent 5 days in intensive care with my parents there the whole time. And there was two things I remembered about being in intensive care, which was, it's a terrible thing if you've ever been. You have things in your throat. And I remember my mom just putting a cloth on my head, making me feel so much better. And I remember her saying to me that my father had to buy new underwear because he was only going to be there for one night. I didn't know this 5 things, the two things I remember. And I just want to say to both of you, thank you for giving me life twice. Thank you.
Very special lady. I'd like to call Joseph and Lorraine Tash to the microphone.
Since Lorraine has got this terrible flu that's going around tonight, I asked my daughter Deborah and my son Matt to join me in this toast. And I want to send my prayers to my wife right now, and I hope she gets better real quick. Pretty ill right now. First of all, I can only speak of Mom and Dad from the perspective of being a son and one of my fellow brothers and sisters. When my brother Max contacted us a few weeks ago for our thoughts and memories, one of the earliest memories I thought of was the Friday night Shabbos dinners when Mom would light the candles and with Sharon and Elisa, and Dad would say Kiddush by memory very fast, then by me, Max, and Carl before dinner. And those wonderful dinners with all of us just enjoying being together and feeling part of a family. This and other happy memories established a warm foundation that I've carried into my adult life and hold dear in my relationship with my own family today. And by coincidence, Lori and I will be celebrating 23 years of marriage later on this month. I can think of no higher compliment to my folks than to have found this solid ground of fostering being part of a family. So important to emulate in my own life and family. Congratulations, Dad and Mom, and may you have many more years of happiness, shared and realized dreams, and good health. L'chaim.
Well, there's nothing else to say except with all those beautiful children, I think we should sing, sing, sing.
dancing. The dance troupe. The Jacqueline Foster dancing. Let's salute the Rolling Stones. Now, can you sing, dance, and play all at the same time? Sing, dance, and play. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no kids to hear, right? All of our dancers, all of them. And Ralph is that you. Celebrate good times. Celebrate good times. Come on. There's a party going on right here. Work your hands, everybody. Celebrate out in here. So take a good time. And laughter too. We're gonna celebrate your with you. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. Working on that rock. Everyone, round the world, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air. Come on, break it down. Break it down. And now, right in front of the stage, we have to have, of course, none other than our guest of honor. So Tammy and Ralph, would you come on up here with my singers and dancers all around them. Come on, singers. And everybody's going to say, celebrate, celebrate. 1, 2, 3, sing. Celebrate good times. Come on, say, Omain, 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 say it. Celebrate good times. Come on, Omain, Omain. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What a couple. What a night. With love. All right. Good night, everybody.
You know Marvin Gaye's drummer, don't you? I'll bet you know the man who created The Simpsons. I'll bet your friends are all celebrities. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? You can make a pot roast. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? First you're brown and onion. Get your picture up at the Morningside Country Club. What's so wonderful? You can clean an oven. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? First you get some easier. The grass is always greener on somebody else's estate. The meat is always leaner on somebody else's dinner plate. But you can sew a button on. That's wonderful.
house. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? First you take a volume. I can see you planning picnics. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? Eating at the White House. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? What a bore. I mean, more. The grass is always greener on somebody else's front lawn. Oh, the water's got up there. Somebody else's greener always has a lot more ambition. You save the whales in Newfoundland. That's wonderful. I'm gonna name. What's so wonderful? You can run a household. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? Yeah, first you have a breakthrough. I see you in people. What's so wonderful? You can hold a husband. That's wonderful. What's so wonderful? There's more to life than husband. I could use a husband. Ah, you can have my husband. I already had your husband.
Mercy and Sunny.